I just happened to see as I was coming up to the studio, this is an article in the Epic Times, and this involves a retired state senator in Virginia who's in a battle against domestic communism. This is exactly where we are in our nation. His name is Richard Hayden Black, and he points out that communism is spreading at a breakneck pace, seizing power by creating divisions. Now, the story tells us about the fact that he not only retired, but also after his retirement this year, he goes to school board meetings in Loudoun County, Virginia, which is really the epicenter of what's taking place in our country and really ground zero in the fight for educational freedom against the critical race theory, CRT. At any rate, he goes into the school board meeting, and they had, let's see if they have it in the article here, they have over 289 people that were to speak, of those registered speakers at these different meetings, and he was number 50th on the slate. When he got up to speak, he began talking about the Marxism that is involved in the critical race theory that is being forced upon our students as our students are indoctrinated in the public schools, and the crowd began to cheer him. And as he spoke, evidently an eloquent and great speaker, he continued on, and they continued to speak, and the crowds just continued to cheer him on in what he was saying. Now, this is Richard Hayden Black. He is not a new person to the fight for freedom. He has been defending freedom for many, many years. He was formerly a U.S. Marine. He rose to the rank of lieutenant colonel, or rather colonel, and to the U.S. Army. He was in the JAG Corps. That is the legal arm of the United States Army. He holds 3 Legions of Merit, the Purple Heart Medal, the Navy Commendation Medal, with V for Valor, Combat Action Ribbon, and 2 Presidential Unit citations. So Black got up to speak at the school board meeting, and he was talking about the Marxism that's being taught in our school systems against our children and against our families. He talked about the lack of freedom and allowing boys to use girls' bathrooms and so forth. And, the school board simply shut him down. They just closed it down, and he was the last speaker to speak. This is what's happening in our country. The other side, that is the leftist, the Marxists, the Nazis, are marching. They have control of the internet. They have control of YouTube. They have control of the mainstream media. They have control of the university apparatus in our country. They have control of the military-industrial complex of our country. They have in control of our White House. They're in control of the government systems. They're in control. And ladies and gentlemen, it is an nth hour for America. And we better get our things together. And nothing shows that more clearly than John Durham's report that came out just the other day. So let's turn attention there for a moment. And this, I have an article that I've entitled it, America is Managed by a Deep State. So this came out just the other day, just before we came to air here. And it just points out the facts that we've been talking about, and that is our government is so larded with unelected bureaucrats, totalitarians, complete liberals, and Marxists, and they're taking us over the cliff of totalitarianism. And it's we the people's fault, for we have allowed so much power to gravitate to Washington, D.C., but it is really a deep state. I say deep state, it's kind of interesting. We'll come to a couple of comments later in this particular segment, because I wanted to say that because so many people mock and they make fun of, and they talk about the conspiracy theorists on deep state, and they don't want to use the word conspiracy. We're going to see who uses the word conspiracy and what really is taking place.